Hi everybody. Okay, I see my face is dark, but the desk is lit up and we are setting about, we're going to talk about discernment. I'm going to be discerning my alcohol markers. I have gone through my watercolor pencils, I still have to do my colored pencils a little bit further. I did my watercolor markers and my watercolor pencils and my Derwent Inktense and my Sharpie markers and some of my colored pencils. But anyway, tonight, this evening, we are going to look at, it's been such a great revelation. We're going to look at what is going on and where are my I gotta go get some. Hold on one second. And then we're gonna I'm gonna see the chat. So get a cup of tea, get your coloring supplies. We're gonna hang. I just have to get some of my colors. I did my acrylic. My acrylic markers got done. It's just been nonstop. After years of having many full sets of things and ordering things and using all things, I have found that when I look at a set of markers and I see only the colors that I would choose, it's less distraction for my brain. So I took out a lot of muddy colors, a lot of really earthy, muted colors because I tend to love the bright. Let's see if we can get the chat going. You guys asked me to show up whenever, not just on Wednesdays. I think I'm going to change it from Wednesdays 8 p.m. Mountain Time to make it 7 p.m. Mountain Time, a little bit earlier. I'm thinking about that. Okay, let's lower the volume on this so I could see the chat. We're good. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have time. You guys can just get while you could declutter, you could just start discerning what's in your pantry, you can start discerning what's in your closet, in your underwear drawer, there's nowhere to hide in feng shui, just remember that. And I've taken it to a whole new level. I thought I was going to be just discerning, rezoning things, like whatever I didn't use or didn't need here, I would put in drawers. I have a lot of my extras, like duplicates of things that I love, in drawers, but I've decided to let go of that which doesn't suit me color-wise, both in my wardrobe and in my art supplies, and it feels really good to have only what you love. So, these are Zig markers. They're fun. They're made by Kuretake. They're Japanese, but tonight we're doing Copic markers, which I've collected throughout the years. Copic markers, we have some other ones, Tombow. Tombow alcohol markers are not refillable, but the Copics are, and they're very quality, but they're also expensive, and I have a friend who does art and she likes some of the colors that I don't. We have different color preferences, and that's okay. So it's important to know what you like, what lights you up, and then just have that. So I'm using an Ohuhu marker pad, which I'm really enjoying. That's funny. The Ohuhu paper pad is various in size and texture. More surprises are on the way. That's pretty cute. Good, more surprises on the way. Let's turn to a blank page. And alcohol markers need a smooth paper. Mixed media just sucks the ink out of it. So I could actually, what I really should do is have the markers that are, these are my approved markers. These are my color palette that I know I love. This one is a pro marker, this one is water-based, so we'll leave that out. Here's alcohol. So I always go red to the pinks. Actually, I do red to oranges usually, but red, orange. I do the rainbow. And I think I'll swatch the ones that I love. that I know that I love because I've tested them. I've been testing, 1, 2, 3. It's been unbelievable the amount of testing that I have been doing. It has taken so much time, but it is so well worth the effort. And if I can save you time and money, I will tell you, just go to the art store or order online that which you know you love. There is no reason to have full sets unless you really need to have full sets, but I thought I did, and apparently I don't. So let's just swatch these at the top so we can, so beautiful. That's the feeling you should have every time you swatch a color. And you know in your heart and in your gut right away if it's the one that makes you like, oh yeah. And I love all colors. That's the funny thing. That's why part of the reason I had the full set syndrome is because I do love all colors. But that doesn't mean all colors work with the artwork that I do. I'm a fan of fluorescence here and there for pops. And so we will have that which to compare if the colors that I'm swatching actually go with. That one felt a little dry. I'm not happy with that one. I think it can step aside. These can be refilled, and I do have some of my favorite colors. I do have the ink refills. I see I'm missing greens. I found a green. The green should have gone there, but that's okay. So you guys can draw along, you can go through a junk drawer, you can lie down. I do recommend though, doing a little doodle. And since someone asked me if I could show up just to hang out just while I do process, and this is my process, so there's no pressure. This is just hanging out in my process. So we have a drawer of, these are skin tones. Not all of them are ones I will want to use. I can see that just by glancing. But skin tones are really important to have for my doobie drawings. I see some blues and I can already tell. When I look and I see something denim-y and dusty and too cool, the palette that I'm using is warm. Reds that are yellow based, not blue based. Pinks that are more on the yellow side. Now sometimes I will have like a fuchsia, a bluey pink, because the flower fuchsia is in fact a doobie, but there's no denim or dusty doobies. I'm using all things that are just bright and in nature. So this one's going to be interesting. So let's test them and see. We will easily be able to see the dusty. I already can take away the ones that I know I won't like, so why bother? But sometimes you're surprised, like the cap. This is a great one. I already have my main palette here, so I'm gonna keep a secondary one unless one of the colors is just so wow, but I think I pulled the wow colors. The wow. That's a wow. And that's funny, I already have it. I have the same one that was in my, I was like, that's a wow. Why didn't that make it into my wow pick from earlier? It's FB, it's fluorescent blue green. The F is for fluorescent. And I already have one. So that is a duplicate. Will go in my duplicate drawer. These are light, probably too light. BG11, let's see. It's a little dusty for me. Goes in the giveaway. Dusty, beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful color, but it doesn't go with my palette. This one will not as well. Now at this point, I'm also, if I know it's too dusty, and it's magnificent, but I know this can, you know, it's dusty and beautiful. Sometimes I think if it's not good for my color palette, I still consider, could this be a doobie? And no, it couldn't. And it doesn't go. B00. So with the Copic markers, B is for blue. And then the zeros, that's a beautiful color for, it had a little black on it, but I think that's a beautiful color. It's a good secondary color. 00, the first number I think is for the intensity of the color. They have a code, B12. It has to do with the depth and the amount of gray in it. So I forget which one's which. I should look that up. That's a beautiful color and could be, in fact, used in the Doobie universe. Oh yeah, that is so Doobie. This one is, no, these are, I think that's doable. And if I don't reach for it and I don't use it, I will pass it along. Usually, I remember when I choose blues and grays, I'm always thinking about the Doobies. Sky, another beautiful one. This looks familiar, but no, that's good. All right, we're doing pretty well on the blues. I don't think I'm going to use this one. It's a little dark, but it's not quite sky. So I'm going to say no. I can feel it, like, even though it's a beautiful color, that's dusty. And I would think normally like, well, what if I want to do a pair of jeans or, but I'm really trying to, that's too cool for me. That is a cool blue, however pretty it is. And then I think flowers, do I need it? So I can always look at the maybes and I don't have to get rid of them or give them away yet. That one, these two go together and they are not in my palette. I'm a little more tropical. That goes in my palette. And I can make a page of art from this. This looks familiar. B12. I already have a B12, so that can B12, vitamin B12. I can keep one of these blues. I think this one looks brighter. These are deep and dark, and usually I only use deep and dark for either sky, which this with some gold, let's try it, a gold pen on top, or white, could give sky. I think that could be a good sky color. I allow myself like an indigo. I'm really trying to be discerning here, and it is not always easy, but I've gotten such good practice of it and it feels so good. It's kind of like when you do your closet or one room and then you realize like how good it feels, that's the vantage point to do everything else. Like you want everything else to feel as good as that area that you just finished. So that's a beautiful night sky. I'm going to keep it. I like it. This is very dark. Though what's interesting about the, these are Copic Sketch. So there's some different Copics. This is Copic Sketch. And this is the traditional Copic. This is Copic 2. They range in prices depending on, if they have the numbers on the end, they're more expensive than these, which are the Copic Chow, which are not, they don't have the numbers on the end. So if you like them to stand up and see what it is, you might want the more expensive ones. I never really cared. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous night sky. And for accents or, you know, you never know. Okay, let's see how gold does. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. And sometimes you just want dark so that you can do light things on top of it. That is really fun, I gotta say. All right, so we did the blues. These are the maybes, maybe go. And these are the stay. And these can live in a drawer because I have, wonder which ones I need. Actually, it would be helpful to have this one right here. And it would be helpful to have a dark. I'm gonna go for the Prussian blue. Yeah, so you can see this has a lot of gray in it. I think it's a B39. So it has intensity. I think it's the value of the color first and then the amount of gray in it. We got to look that up, how Copic does there. And I have this cool chest of drawers by Meeden, which you can't see right now. To show it on Instagram. And because I'll have so many empty drawers now, it will be so much easier for me to have liners, things that I use actually here, and I'll label the drawers. Or I could use it for jewelry. Haven't decided. Let's see about the greens. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put this drawer back. I thought we'd hang out while I did this because I'm doing it anyway, and it make it more fun for me. All right, here's our colors that we are using, and I usually like to have an empty cup at my desk so I can have whatever I'm using and working with at the moment there. All right, we got greens. Line them up. Or we could do purples. I'll take out the greens. I can already see these are gorgeous, but they're not going to be my palette. Sometimes I do have to think, okay, if I'm doing Sedona, I always think about Sedona landscape and other landscapes and habitats, because they're not always going to be the bright pop of colors that I use for the doobie characters, but I can tell when it's too dull. If it's going to muddy the rest of the whole situation, then I will not. All right, let's do, I have a few purpley blues. This is like a grade. It's beautiful, but it's not going to work because it's not light enough to be a flower. And nope. Okay. I don't like chisel tips. I have a problem with chisel tips. They're good for filling in, but I either like bullet. This is a yes. I could tell right away. That is so doobie. Which doobie you be? I've decided that I'm gonna make a, these are the doobies. In case anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, these are my little characters I thought of in 1998. And I feel my mom all the time, like, why aren't you doing them? And it's a cast of characters, and I made an oracle deck, which I decided I'm going to take a week where I'll ship them. So I'll take orders, but I'll announce it. They're just the cutest, and they make people happy. Let's see, what color was that? Just out of curiosity. Okay, so that is fluorescent dull violet. That's interesting. And this one is fluorescent violet, straight up. Yeah, beautiful. I will keep them both. This one I can tell is a little, well, VO9. So what I'm thinking, this one, the second number, this tells me that the intensity of that one. And you could use it as a shadow. Sometimes you want to keep the shadow colors. So there's got to be my secondary. I'm going to have a keep to the side, like a secondary palette. There's the core palette, then there's a secondary palette, and then there is a palette I send to my friend. It's a little dusty for me. VO5. It's a little dusty. For the doobies, not for me. Oh, that's bright. There we go. You see the difference? That one's like kind of muted. It's got some gray, and this one's like straight up. This is Blick Studio. They make really nice alcohol markers. I'm a fan. And here's magenta. That is just so doobie. That's so doobie. People, when they pull their first card, I already tell this is definitely Terry. She likes soft, romantic, soft, calming colors. That will be for her. And if she loves a color, she can buy the ink refill, and that's another one that looks like her as well. Soft, beautiful Our whole house is like a fairy garden. Okay, this is a blender, which I never use. I don't really blend, so maybe she wants to blend. That's great. I'm gonna put the secondary ones in the drawer with the secondary blues. And we're gonna move on to the greens. Let's see. No, we're gonna do, let's do the greens. I've already gone through many of these because I did pick my palette, but I wasn't ruthless. I wasn't ruthless about, I think this one's gonna be beautiful. That's Doobie, and I feel like I already have that one, so that's a second back up. This one's beautiful, I can tell. It's a little darker than, sometimes when they're, I mean, these are so old. Some of these must be 25 years old at least. And is a shadow to that green. I think it's good. I may need to get a fresh one or a, it's a little dull. I may need to get a fresh one at this point, or a refill. It's a little dull for the doobies. I could tell I need something like it. Maybe this one. This one's going to be it's a dark sagey green. It's too grayed out for the doobies. That's bright and pretty. It's a little bit cool for my taste, but I think it's a keeper. That's vibrant enough. See, that one will suffice for giving me depth on this one. Once I choose all my colors, and you see you can layer, so you can make it darker. I can probably even do that with this green. Take this green and then layer it for depth. It gets brighter. Definitely this one's going in. That feels good. That looks like the other one that I already parted with. It feels a little dull. I want bright. It's hard to find bright greens, to be honest. Like with the watercolor markers, these all feel really similar. YG03, yeah. It's the same as the other one. Let's see what happens when I darken it. It kind of comes out cool. I'm not mad at this one. We'll put it aside. It's kind of dull. Now this is a mossy, it looks like I have, yeah, two. I must like this color because on 3 different occasions, once in Sweden, this one's Swedish, and on 2 different occasions I bought the color, so I will let go of 2 of them and keep one. It's a good like nature color, and apparently I liked it 3 times. Oops. And we got this one, which, no, it's just not, it's not doing it for me. And that's that. You know, now they have alcohol markers that are so much more vibrant than the Copics, because Copics were from back in the day when graphic design was done on paper before computers, and it's they're like a little more subdued. And wow, we have pinks. We have a lot of pinks to go through, and I see some muddy ones and some very bright ones. Okay, let's see. That's a doobie color. I feel like I already have it. RV Red Violet 04. That's a keeper. It's a little warm in here. That is a keeper. RV 13. And they name them something pink, tender pink. That's a pretty color. That's a little too blue for me. So it's going. Too blue and too pale. Soft, pretty, but that's a nice petal pink. It goes with this one. So I could do roses, and then this is a deeper part of it. Very pale. Too pale and too delicate. It's too timid. Not timid and fabulous. Yes. I obviously didn't pick through the, oh yes. Can you see my excitement? That's a little cool, but it is pop. It's good for tulipa. Fluorescent red violet. Excellent. This looks like fluorescent red violet 1, so it might be a little bit grayer. And I want to look up their coating system. It's been such a long time. That's a pretty pale, rosy. It's a little delicate for the doobies, but it's still a warm, pretty pink. I already can tell these are too pale. I must have gotten them maybe for skin, or if it's kind of skin toned, I keep it. That's a great skin tone. These are kind of blush for skin tones, but I use kind of, when I blush the doobies, I do them much more bright. I do like these, but I'm not sure they're, definitely this one, that's a skin. I mean, in nature, there definitely are flowers that color. But I'm gonna let them go because they're not popping in the way I need them to. That's pretty. They're all pretty. RV42. That's giving me a peachy, it's a maybe. Okay, I can tell already that this one is definitely from my friend. Beautiful. I mean, these are colors that she uses. And when you use the colors in her palette, it all goes together in her palette. She does not like fluorescent like I like. This is a little muted for her too. These three look very pretty together, and they're good for her. So, yep. And that is a pretty red for the doobies. And pretty magenta, red violet. It's fuchsia. I feel like I had another fuchsia, but this one is like, yes. And these can all stay in a drawer until I'm ready. These two are similar. This one is a little more yellow. Actually, this one is better for the doobies. This one's a little dark, but could be cool. I've gone with a warm, strong, saturated value, like luminous colors without gray. That was my decision. And I'm sticking to it because it works. And you have to kind of stick to a palette when you're developing a universe, like I am. Yeah, this one works more than those two. Okay, so that's decided. That's a better coral. It's like watermelon-y. That works. When you're developing something for storybook, for animation, that's buttercup. That's like a buttercup color. It's hard to let that go even though it's not my range. It's not. Be tough. That's my range. That's my range. And when you're developing, you want some animation, you want somebody to work on the doobie universe with you, you want to grow it, you have to have a set palette. It can't be all over the place, because if you're having another artist work on it, or other artists, there has to be rules. There's rules of engagement for color, for obviously line width, for shape of the doobies, and then there's universe logic, which we're going to be, I'm going to share it with you guys, because I'm actually working on it once I'm done with my studio, because I didn't want to sit here and work on my computer and in my Google Drive writing stories and drawing the characters while looking at chaos around me and knowing that I just have palettes that, like, colors that don't belong and materials that no longer serve me, and I'm just about done. Like this is this, and then my acrylics and the inks behind me, and I'm done. So Weaving the Beauty Way. That's a beautiful name. Good evening. It's dusk in my backyard, making art alongside you. That's the whole point. I was like, one person is going to want to hang. As long as I'm helping and hanging with one person. Yeah, this is a yellowy red. I'm happy. So I'm glad you're here. I imagine you're a weaver. What art are you making? So this is like a tomatoey red, an orangey red. Great, great, great. And we did that. So we can put these in the other drawer and get them away. Very exciting. I feel very happy with that process. And I've decided the precious real estate at my desk, I have a set of IKEA drawers to the right, a set of IKEA drawers to the left, drawers, and I will have everything I need here for this is for alcohol and watercolor markers, and I'm going to be testing. I'm pretty sure I know which outliner I want to use, and I want it to be consistent throughout. So I will show you what liners I'm using, because I'm really picky. I've tried them all, and there's a specific look I want for the lining, the liner, the outside of the doobie, and yeah, so this took me days to get it dialed in, and then I spent 2.5 days testing the palette for the watercolors, and on the third day I'm like, I'm not using watercolor. I'm using alcohol markers most likely, and watercolor markers, and I was like, wow. But it's part of the discernment process. You have to try things thinking you're going to use them, thinking you're going to wear them, thinking you're going to use it in the kitchen, thinking you're going to hang out with that person, and be honest with yourself if it actually does feel lifting. These colors have to be lifting. The clothes I wear have to be lifting. You know, you get the drill. I can't say it enough though, because I don't know that many people go this far as to like really only living with the things they're going to use or love. Like, this is as far as I've ever gone. Oh my gosh, Craig, bonsoir. My soul sib, I've been thinking about you. It's Eva. Hi, honey. Aw, my little artist friends. And I encourage you, we can draw doobies together too. Like, Craig and I hung out in Venice, and he was drawing doobies and coloring in doobies. So we're gonna do the boring colors. I don't need grays. And that's a shocking thing, because you want to have warm grays, you want to have dark grays, but I don't need the grays. If I need to make a gray sky, I can do it with a bunch of other colors. We're being tough here. I don't need Copic blacks either, because my outlines are black, but the doobies are never black. I guess I should keep one. Maybe. All blacks are not created equal, but these are Copic blacks, and these are all created equal. I'll pass one along. At least it got beat up. Maybe. I don't like drawing outlines or drawing pictures unless it's like art journaling and I'm doing a portrait. A brush marker gives you thin lines and thick lines. You can go thin, and then you get thick, and then you go thin again. But I need uniformity for the doobie, so really none of these are going to work for me. I'm being hardcore. Hi, Misbehaving. It's good to see you too. Your discipline and devotion are impressive. Thank you. I could have gone out for dinner. We'll decide if I'm going to keep a gray. Let's all vote. This is like a pretty bluish gray. There's no reason. I haven't touched these in years. Years and years I've had these Copics. Oh, so I was telling you, oh, hoo-hoo, that I don't like, yeah, I don't know. It's funny that I like warm gray, but my whole color palette is, no, this one is cool. Yeah, so I like the, it's funny, for the grays, I like the bluer gray. They're just not going to be used. Let's get real. I don't know where the doobies are going to need gray, unless you guys have an opinion on where I would need gray in the doobie universe. All right, chime in, because I need some help on the grays. You're supposed to keep them. Blue-gray is pretty. I feel the same. The blue-gray one is pretty. This is cool. Neutral gray. Was this the blue-gray? Cool gray. Huh. It must be this one. Let's test it again. Yeah, I agree. That one can stay. It feels good for whatever reason. Somebody could make a, see, this is where I always see possibilities, why I don't, this is why I have all these colors, because you can see a gorgeous picture with like the grays, like the cool grays and then gray sky and then like the mountains, and I don't know, I always see like, or like a whole picture of just with different values, but that's not what I'm up to. I gotta get real. I've got to focus on the doobies. Elephant gray. So is elephant gray blue or cool? I would think elephant gray is cool. Like, this is warm gray. Even then, I don't have, like if I do an elephant in the doobie universe, if an elephant is somebody's companion, it's probably going to be done with like blue and lavender and like, you know, something luminescent. The whole doobie universe is luminescent. It's great. Craig is very good with color. I think I like these warm grays. And it's calling it, this one's called cool gray. Yes, that's what I mean, cool gray. That's a warm gray. When it has yellow in it, it's warm. I like cool grays, so I'll keep two cools because I can. Am I ever going to blend? The blender sort of just takes away color, and it's kind of cool to have for these. We'll try it with pretty colors. So I have skins. Oh, this is a very light cool gray. I don't know why I like it, I just do. Where are my glasses? Ah, and where I put them. I'm finding that I'm organized, and I'm also finding that when I don't have something I need, or I have too many of something and I can't find the thing that I need, which keeps happening with my liner pens. I'm gonna have to do it again. I'm gonna have to, this is my pencil drawer, and I don't need the pencil blenders there. I have like 20 of these. These I love. I highly recommend getting these from Blick. Kohinoor, Magic. Actually, this one's Cretacolor. Mega Quattro. They're any pencils that have multicolors at the tip, and they're just so much fun. This is the Kohinoor Magic. I love it. Anyway, I have to eliminate, and that shouldn't be there. But I've been really good for most part, but I have to just eliminate extras or just pull out the exact one that I'm using. I'll decide. That doesn't go here. Okay, so where were we? Elephant gray is a pinky gray. That's pretty. This one's Buttercup. So was the other one though. Didn't it look like Buttercup? That one, no, see? That one was too orangey for Buttercup. That was good for skin. I thought I did a yellow one that looked Buttercup-y, but I guess that was it. This one's Buttercup, and we do have a Buttercup doobie, so that stays as a secondary. Okay. And Y21, Buttercup. I'm consistent at least. Well, I don't need both Buttercups. Does anybody want to sing that song? The last gray looks like fog. It's so pretty. That one's like a pretty soft. I could see it around a cloud. I agree. I bought a set of those rainbow pencils from Amazon. Which company? They're not all created equal. I have found that the Japanese one called Camel is so good. I wonder which one you got and if you like it. This is Skin. This is great. Pink Flamingo. This is another inexpensive brand, but when I find a skin tone that I like, I don't care what brand it is. Good skin. A little deeper skin. They still have to be bright though. They can't just be dark and dull, but this one's bright enough. Brick beige. This one's going to be a little too red. That's a pretty color though. That's like Sedona Mountain color, so that stays. That's really pretty. That's when the sunlight hits, when the sun is setting, the sun's hitting the mountain. Desert Sand. That's a little too, could it be Sedona Earth? It could be a little bit. Let's vote on that one, you guys. I don't really need it, but the sand is kind of pinkish. Keep it. Kohinoor, you got Kohinoor. Okay, you got those. I have those. Those are fantastic. Of course, you got good ones. That is like a Sedona color as well. So we will keep that. And more skin colors. I obviously am always on the lookout for the skin colors for the doobies, and I've been a little excessive throughout the years on many accounts with my art supplies. But I've tried a lot of different things, and I know what I like and what I don't like and what I like to use and what I don't want to use. We're going to have to do another page here. This is a little dull. In for a darker skin tone, I don't like it for that. You can layer for skin tones. That's kind of red. It's kind of not. Well, are you using them, Craig? Why don't you use them right now? What do we think about that? If I were doing portraiture, that would be a great cheekbone shadow. I'll keep it. It's hard to get rid of things you like, even if they're not fitting the... I'll have one drawer of skin tone things, and that will be that. That is not good for me. If I like it and I don't like that that is so Terry. It sounds like, oh, I don't like her colors, but I do for her and what she does 100%. Desert Sand Lake in Utah, I'm keeping that. Good call. Oh, these bled through. They're not supposed to bleed through on the hoo-hoo that they did. So when I'm done, you guys, the plan is when I'm done doing all the choosing for the colors, I intend in my materials notebook, I will do it on this paper, and then I will take it out of this notebook and put it, I have a materials notebook. I have 5 or 6 notebooks the same size, one for ideas for videos, one that's material testing, like swatching. So I will take all the Copics and swatch them out with the numbers so I can see what they are. All of the watercolor markers, I will have my palettes available for me to look at. But if I did that with all the colors that I'm not enjoying, it's confusing for the eye. So my gift to myself and us, because swatching is so soothing, I will swatch everything and tell you what colors are what, which it'll be really helpful for you, because then you'll be like, oh, I like that color, I'll buy that color. So I'm gonna save you money and time, and plus it will be fun. We do not need to buy things we don't use and then feel bad that we That's skin. Got some skin in the game. Oh no, we already did that one. Did we do that one? I like that one. No, I'm pulling them from up here and then I'm putting them in the skin drawer. What do we think of that brown? For someone brown. You guys vote on that one. It's a little pinky. Here's a better, deeper. When you go deeper, it's funny, the chisel side might come out different than the brush side. They hold the, I prefer that one. They're very similar, but this one has, there's one way to tell. Are you ready? Okay, this is my new favorite liner. I have two. Oh, I have more than just a couple. What doobie do you want to see? Let's draw a couple. Normally I draw doobies and then test the colors in there. I have to let this dry. You know what, if I end up getting rid of a color and I need a color, I'll get the color, but most likely, my head is in it? What do you mean? Oh, I was like, is my head? Sorry, thank you. Okay, so that color or that color, those look very similar, don't they? To me, even. This one looks a little browner. So that's number 3 and that's number 4. Let's do it again. I don't know which one was which. This is E33. It looks kind of too red. And this one is, oh yeah, this one's darker. 97. This one's rose beige. Yeah, that must have been that one. I think that's the keeper. There's a huge pile of giveaway. Huge. And then when I go to swatch them, if something seems extra, my head is covering the brown. You're so funny. All right, so I'm going to label them and you could tell me. This is 1, 2, 3, and I don't remember which ones were which, so this one is that one. This is number 1. Burnt Derna. It's from another country, this alcohol ink marker. I saved 2. This one you like, number 2? Can skin be that? That's a pretty color. They're both pretty, huh? For skin, for varying skin tones, they both are working. So there's that. Let's try this is skin white. This is white skin. E00. That's super light. There you go. You can't have too many because, like, when I go out on the road and I take a liner with me, I always need to take a skin color with me, and then it's out on the road with me in the van or in my purse, and it's like having extra lipsticks. Give her a little tan. I like it. Some people, you know, would be like, you can't keep this many extra skin colors. That's silly, but I have a drawer for them and I can. But if I only had a limited space, I'd have to be like, all right, I'm letting it go because we don't need to be so extra. But since I have drawer space, there is no reason. Now this looks very dark. E25 Caribe Cocoa. I've been eating chocolate. Jeffrey Botticelli is back. You can give a little shadow. This is nice for shadow. Jeffrey Botticelli, the chocolatier, These are all very similar. The chocolatier at Chocolate Tree for 16 years, a dear old friend of mine. That's like Sedona color. Look, I'm keeping all these earth tones that I probably am not going to be using, which is funny. I was more hardcore. That doesn't feel like me, this color. It's got a little persimmon vibe to it though, like a shadow of a persimmon. This is my problem. I really like all colors, but it's not doing anything for the duties. So you know my theory, Craig, you've heard my theory? Yeah, these two go together and they're gorgeous together. Absolutely beautiful. I see why I got them. It's very hard. It's been very hard, but I've been doing it because I got the practice when I was doing my clothes, and like, what am I gonna wear something next to my face that makes my skin look sallow and bags under my eyes and dulls my hair? Like, it's the same thing with this. Like, it's really hard. These two are so pretty together. Let's do a little thing. This one reminds me of the persimmon, this persimmon water color that I have. That just, did I bring water to this table? Yes, I did. Watch this. I mean, but that's bright. That's what we're looking for. And this one, that has depth and lightness and life. And even though this one has a little bit similar of the vibe, to be able to get, you know, yeah, this doesn't do it. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. This one. Yeah, it's really hard. I'm glad you are commending me on my discipline because it is really hard. Oh, good, good, good. Make some marks. It really is. So if I were able to dilute this, which I probably could, when I use my watercolor markers and I don't want it that dark, I dip it in water and then color with it, but I can't really do that with the alcohol markers. So it's got to be the right value from the get-go or it's not going to work for me. And however beautiful this is, it's just too dark and grayed out. So yeah, I have great discipline. You should see there's like massive amounts that I'm letting go of, but it's kind of like having, first of all, they'll end up drying out and somebody should use them. Terry draws with her students. They can enjoy them. Is that a good Sedona color? Is it a good accent brown? Yes, it is. It's a little javelina-like. Well, since I'm having a whole drawer of neutrals, let's see. E37, E57. E is earth. E stands for earth. So it's important to have earth tones. Burnt sienna. I don't like this blob here. That does not look like burnt sienna at all. That is too red to be burnt sienna, and it's going with this family that you know what, this page doesn't have to be pretty. I like all the pages to look good, but this is, nope, that's going to be so good for someone else. Too milky, dull. It's a little Sedona, the earth part. Did I? Nope. It is hard because they're all so pretty. But I'm not. Strawberry. You see a strawberry with this swatch? This one? This one is the burnt sienna. Just say if it's the burnt sienna or no, or that one. When we do strawberry in the Doobie universe, the strawberries are like this. We're going like, you know, that's just what we have to remember is where we're coming from, right? And they could, there's so many possibilities for all these colors. That works. Sand. And the last one of the neutrals is like a goldish color, and that is too dull for the doobie universe, clearly. All right, so we only have the grays to decide. We have a whole drawer of neutrals and earthies, which is great. I don't have a problem with that. It's decluttering, you guys. It's being real about what you're going to use and what you're going to wear. And that's that. Like, we did the pinks. I'm going to see about the grays. Let's see. No, the middle one in that line. Oh, that. Yes, honey. That is a strawberry. This one, the blob, is this is what I did with Dr. Martin's. You guys should know about this. I should say it in every video. So it's Dr. P.H. Martin's Radiant Concentrated Watercolor in the color Persimmon. And if I were just going to have one art supply to play with and then draw doobies on top of it, this is the color of the moment. This is fire. This is pink. It's love. It's got shades of pink below the coral. I don't know if you could see how there's like a subtle color shift. And that is a doobie strawberry. Yes. So I think this is a blender. I don't know that I need it, but I'll keep one. Are these both blenders? The blenders kind of just take away the color. I don't really, oh, it's pulling over there. That's ink. So the Dr. P.H. Martin's watercolors, though, when they're called radiant, they've got dye in them. They really, really are very bright. I'm never going to use the blender. Yes, this is lovely. It's one of my favorites. It's like the star of the show. Gotta give them eyes. Well, why not do a strawberry, really, on a doobie head right now? Because it's got to be fun. This gets a little wearing. I've been doing it for days, and it's a little... With that brush, I've had this sable brush, series 707, since college. When I was at George Washington University and took a year and a half of watercolor. I'm going to use it because that's where we're at. It's nostalgic. It's a little beat up, but when you buy good brushes, they should last for a long time. Actually, I think what I want to do is I'm not using watercolors for the doobies, but I might use these watercolor inks because they're just so vibrant. And I need to get green and see if they have, I looked online and it was so hard to tell the color. When you're in person, you can see it better. I feel like we have more to do. I have my Pitt artist pens, which are interesting because they are, let's take a look at them. So we have a big, you want to squeeze out the brush and leave the tip pointed when it dries, and dry it flat, not like this, so it doesn't ruin the ferrule. That part's the ferrule. We'll be sharing favorite brushes. This one I left in the water. Raphael. This is a nice one. Now I buy synthetic brushes, but back in the day. Okay. That's more than 25 years ago. Okay, so now some of these are 25 or more years old. So I don't think I've ever done a declutter like this in my whole life. Where are we at? Okay, so I can keep the grays because I was undecided. Now, these are interesting. I don't know how I feel about them, so I'm gonna feel them out. This is an earth set, a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen Brush. And these are supposedly, are these India ink? So these are actually could be really good for the doobies because ink tends to stain the paper and be stronger in color. So let's test them out. I think these are going to be good. Are you ready? We'll give her, they're going to be stronger than the watercolor. It's a little pinky. It's going a little bit with this. It goes. It's working for me. Fuchsia, magenta. It's funny, the brush does a little something funny on the paper. I can see streaks, and that's not going to work for the doobies, to be honest. Yes, little strawberry doobies can go frolicking amongst the berry bushes. These are a little streaky for on this paper. I wonder if they're streaky on the other paper. Let me test. I have everything within reach. It's so good. How's my sound, you guys? I'm not that close to the microphone, and it looks like it's going into the red. Oh yeah, these are better for mixed media paper, so they're actually very nice. Let's see. It's a pinky red. It's not an orangey red. Very pretty. Oops. Yeah, they're pretty. They blend a little bit. That's kind of nice. Well, they're a pop of color. This one's not right for me, and this one's okay. This is not necessarily my color. The yellow's good, the pink's good, the red's okay. This is periwinkle color. This one's the only one I don't like for me, but this is really pretty because there's flowers that are that color. So far, beautiful. Is India ink? Dip it in water. No. They're light fast and waterproof. To be this bright and to be light fast is quite amazing. Light fast means that when it's hung up in daylight or in the sun, it's not going to fade for like 100 years. So we got to give Pitt credit for that. So this is what happens when you try to draw a doobie with a black pen that's a brush pen, you don't get the even lines. And for my style and how I do them, I prefer, I mean, you guys can tell me, do you like the varied line? It doesn't feel the same. It gives more movement and more variation than just straight. Yeah, I'm curious what you guys think, because we're in development. But that's usually how I draw them. They're just all even. That's why I use a bullet point instead of a brush pen. That's more comfortable for me, even if you like how that looks. That's good if you're drawing like sketchy and you want to have a lot of movement. Oh good, the sound is good, thank you. So this is good to have, but it's a different vibe. Can you see the difference, you guys, between one that's drawn with The top one's drawn with a brush pen and the bottom one's drawn with a bullet point. And I want to make sure that I'm not just trying to mimic my digital art. I always like to draw with a bullet tip. But if I were doing a picture of a person, oh, you need to run? Okay, have fun wherever you're going. Or if you're going to sleep, bonne nuit. It sounds like you're going out. Have fun. I'm glad you were here, my soul sib. I don't know how long I've been on. Do you guys know? Doesn't matter. This is another brush tip, but this is gray. Honestly, I don't need the gray and I don't need that green. So I'm going to gift it because that's the mode we're in. I don't have to keep the set just because it's a set. Bullet points cleaner. It just is. It's my style and I agree. For this artwork, for other artwork, you know. What do we think of the brown? She could have brown hair. Some doobies have brown hair. I don't know. That and that, like why? I've been on for 65 minutes. The time just goes. Last night's live was, I think, an hour and a half. It's crazy. Nope. We're going hardcore. See black. This isn't it. Now I don't know if this pen line is Surf Paints. I love them. They're in Australia. They're acrylic markers, and this is a 1.0. They sent this to me with a pack I ordered. This one they sent to try, yes, and I am in love with it. So Surf Paints. They make acrylic markers, and this one will be, it won't bleed. I'm not sure. Oh, this one should be fine too. No, yeah, that's fine too. Okay, I like the skin color. You can stay. I think I'll like this skin color. I do. Yeah, I'm getting rid of anything that will just like affect my eyeballs, and it's like looking at, it's almost like chaos when you're looking at things that you wouldn't use. I think that's a pretty brown for me. When you're looking at things you wouldn't use, it kind of like distracts. Like when you're going to get dressed. It distracts your eye to see things that you feel like you should wear because you have it. And so many times we use it because we have it. Like when you have a shirt that doesn't really look good on you, but it's hanging there, you're like, oh, I'll just wear it. And then you don't feel good. Same way if I drew with something that didn't go with the palette, that's a good dark brown. If it didn't go with the palette and I use it, it's gonna muck up the whole thing. Just like when you put on an outfit and it doesn't go with you, and it mucks up your day. Do I like this? This is not a bullet point. It's a fine liner in dark sepia, which is actually a really good thing to have, so I will keep it. Sometimes you don't want the doobies in black. You want them softer. I would like a fatter one like this, actually. I need to work in 1.0 minimum. I've discovered that if I draw a doobie with a 7mm, the doobie turns out 7 inches. If I draw it with 4mm, it turns out 4 inches. It just naturally happens that way. I measured last night, and oh, I'm getting lost in drawing doobies. It's like meditative. But these are also tester. Love this. But this has to go in my liner drawer. Okay. Or no, we don't. Oh, that's a pretty gray. What do we think? Sometimes you want a gray sky around them. This is a pretty gray. And if I think it's pretty, I get to keep it. It could be like an atmosphere color. Like it doesn't have to be in my core container. It could be off to the side. That's a good dark brown. Yeah, I wonder if this one is necessary for like trees or something. Could be. Let's take it back. Is that it? Yeah. It's kind of bright. I don't know, good for tree trunk, bark. That's too red. I can't believe you guys are hanging out for this, but you are. That's a warm gray. That's like an elephant gray, pinky gray. I kind of like it. I get to keep it if I like it, because, ooh, and here's white. That's really cool. This Pitt Faber-Castell, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen Brush. And they're India ink, waterproof, maximum light fastness. And basically this white one is so cool. You can like powder out, you can make clouds on the sky. Super cool. Love it. Okay. Woo. That was a lot, but we got rid of a lot. I'm going to show you guys what we let go of. It's wearing to do this. Most people would be going out to dinner, going out for a cocktail, and I'm like, no, I have to finish. This makes me actually want to go out. I didn't like this green, I guess. I kind of like it. Now I worry that because it looks pretty with my original colors. Let's go back to my, if there's ever a question of getting rid of something, I test it with the originals and see how it holds. And this one holds gorgeous. So before I let go of them, I go through them again. Like I do give it a second run just to make sure. But that's my color palette. And actually this green is actually what I was missing with the, no, that's not it. Haha, that was too blue. The green one, I think I meant to keep this in. That one has phthalo blue in it, that green, and it's kind of acidic and not very natural and not what's needed for here. So how's everybody doing? You made it through with me. Let's get a little container or bag to put the extras in. I'm going to show you what we're letting go of. This is one. We got through all these, you guys. That's impressive. There's a couple blues I see that could be good. But they're not the palette. They're not the palette. That's just the way it goes. Yes, the brightness, warmth, and clarity of the True Spring palette is stunning. It is luminous. It's luminosity. And that is what I need. That's the expression of me. And so while I can try on other things for size and do other things, it will not feel like me. Oh, this is tweezers for taking out the tip of the Copic marker, pulling it out so that you can fill it with the ink. And if I'm not going to use it, or if I'm going to use it and it's going to muck up my situation, let's go, hold on. I got to get these out of my way. Yeah, why wear something that's going to muck you up? Why eat something that's going to muck you up? And why draw with something that's going to muck up your intentions? And I am being intentional and devoted. And this is part of my devotion, is being very real with what suits my palette. Now, I don't have to get rid of all those. Those can go in a drawer as backup. They can go in a drawer for a mood someday. Like, I don't have to give them away. They can just go in a Ziploc baggie in a drawer, right? So we don't have to do that to ourselves if we don't want. What's my glasses? Where's my drink? I think we can hang up soon. Thank you, Misbehaving, because I do think the palette suits me. And it's my theory that whatever color season we are, that's the colors we like to draw with, because those are the colors that are aligned with us and our personality. Because True Spring is not only the colors, it's also the personality of True Springs. There's different personalities to each of the color season palettes. If anybody wants to comment how to best find out your color season, are you autumn, winter, spring, or summer, which subcategory of each season? So I'm a true spring. I'm not a soft spring or spring with pastel, not good for me. I'm these colors, I'm these saturated colors. Terry is a soft summer, or summer. I know she's summer, so grayed out sweatshirts, like blues with some gray, pinks like mauve-y pinks. That's me right there. Cooking, comforting to be here, cooking soup and painting. I love that. Big time release and cleansing. I love that. Cooking soup and painting, that's beautiful. And I'm hanging out with you guys and swatching and being discerning. Yes, it's luminous, misbehaving. Great word. I'm also a true spring palette, but our coloring is different from each other. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like you could have blue eyes, you could have blonde hair, you could have, but if you're bright, you're bright. And it usually lends towards a bright personality. How did you find out? Did you diagnose yourself or did you go to a professional? There's 3 subcategories for each season, so you may be a different spring. Like, do these colors look good on you, or are you more softer and pastel? And then there's one that leads a little more towards autumn, I think. If you did it in the 80s, you wouldn't know the subcategory. The subcategories are what they've done for tricky, you know, to make it a little more refined, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna put these drawers. Did I do all? Let's see, maybe we skipped something. I'm going to show you the drawer set. I'm going to lift it. I feel like I have one more drawer to do. No, empty, empty. Where's some yellows? We're not done. After that, we're done. And this could be used for jewelry. Put it in my closet if there's room. Here's the drawer set by Meaden. I had 2 of these full with alcohol markers, and now they're not. I have one of them full. I think 2 are in. Actually, I have 3 sets of these. These are wonderful for, they're thin drawers, and they're great for any kind of art supply. You don't need 3, probably. But I've been decluttering the studio. All right, with that yellow, I gotta get my drink. Hold on. You diagnose yourself as a spring, and it's possible that a few pastels look good on me, but I'm not certain. Well, there's one way you go to like a thrift store, a Ross, or any store, in a fabric store, anywhere, and just put colors on and see what they do to you. I think I've been out this close to 2 weeks, and tomorrow I'll be done. Tomorrow I'm doing the acrylics and the inks behind me. I might, after I hang up with you guys, do the inks. Maybe. Hot water. Okay. Yellow. And you're not wasting paper when you do this, and I'll tell you why. You're getting used to your supplies. You're seeing what works and what brings you joy. That is a pretty buttercup color. Pretty. This one I don't like. It's dull. What is this color? Yeah, Y15 cad yellow. But it could just be old, you know? Like it could have lost some of its luster. The modern pens like Ohuhu and the cheaper markers that you can't buy open stocks. You can't just buy one. But you get the set, and they're brighter. They're more modern and brighter than, I think, than the Copic. That's my guess. That feels a little neutral earth, like Sedona. Yellow ochre. Yeah, that's an earth color that I do like. Did I like this one? Did I like this one? This was just plain yellow. It's back up. It's so warm in here right now. That's pretty. that one feels dead. I'm gonna say no, it's Maze. It's too dull for me. Luminosity, vibrant, the doobies are coming out like crazy. Yeah, this is yellow ochre, and this yellow ochre feels better to me than that yellow ochre that I already put away. Almost done. That's yellow too, so I have 2 yellows. That's a They didn't put a name on this. Tombow doesn't put a name, but that's not really a yellow for me. It's too soft. Too soft. This one feels dead. That's pretty. That's luminescent. A little soft, a little pastel-y. A little too pastel-y. I need luminous and not pastel. Yeah, that's the earthy one I wanted to put away. That's working. That's bright enough. Too soft. It's almost neon-y. Yeah, it's fluorescent, yellow-orange. Do we like it? You guys still here? Anybody still here hanging for this? This is just the hangout time. So if anybody's watching this to the end while you're still with me, thank you. If you are watching this after, you're amazing. Leave a comment and tell me if you like fluorescent orange. Let me know you've been here. This is kind of fun to put a gold pen over. It's fun. Yeah, I'm hesitating too much, so that's a no. Or the yellow I wanted, right? I think I just got distracted. But we're good, you guys. We did really well. And I thank you for hanging with me. And when you do something like this and you think it's throwaway, it's not, because you could keep, ooh, that's the brush pen, it's going away. You can keep drawing and coloring on that page and do words. Draw strawberries, draw the date. You can keep going. You can just use it to play. Like, it's already not set out to be a piece of art to hang on the wall, so there's no reason you can't test out how things look, colors next to each other, different lines you may want to continue drawing. I really recommend you guys that you do ovals. I used to just do ovals all over a page and then color them in or not. Pen, I'd use like a purple pen. It didn't matter. It's like the feeling of the pen on the paper, which is the point. It's the act of doing it. It's the discovery. It's the sensation of feeling the materials work together. It's not about the end result. Trust me, you'll get to one out of however many that's like, wow, this is an end result one. I love it. Or this is the direction I want to go. But do it for the sake of doing it. Believe me, one of them, you could always cut out something you like. Like if I like that, I could cut that out and put it on a postcard and send it to someone. Like, if you don't like the whole page, it doesn't mean that you won't like a part of the page or something that you did on the page that reminds you to do that again. Ah, Rosie and Thorn just made an appearance. They're in love. Doobies in love. There's a little head sticking out there. Somebody's peeking over. That's cute. Who would be peeking over? Rosebud. Super cute. You just amuse yourself, and when you just doodle and do shapes and colors, I promise you'll discover things you don't like, things you like. I would never have made that discovery unless I made a mistake and left the head there. Does that make sense? All right. I think we did good. You guys hung tight. Some of you, I appreciate it. Thanks for being with me. I'm deciding if I'm going to do the inks. I just may do the inks. Why not? Like, I'm in tonight. Unless all of a sudden I get a wild, what do they say, wild hair to go out? Or, do... I pulled some things out of my bin a huge box that I'm giving away, and I just wanted to make sure that there were some things I wasn't sure, so I pulled out some of them and I get to test them again. I like this one. It's a little dull. The Pilot, the Papermate Inkjoy, or they say bright, like they're bright. They're really cool as far as gel pens go. They feel a little scratchy, the ones that I got, so... Plus, it's not necessarily my color. It's a very, this color is a cool purple, which is sometimes needed. But these thin liners, I need to be darker if I'm drawing them. So, I don't know. I love the color. I think somebody else might love it more. I do love it. I could do a whole page. Try that, like a blue pen that you like, or a Sharpie S gel pen, and just do all kinds of weird shapes on one page, and just fill the page with that same color, like a monochromatic something, and sun, stars, hearts, blobs. Put faces in the blobs. That's my angry negative energy guy. Do just shapes of the same, and then you'll get and just fill in the page, and you'll have a page that you can color in after, if you do all the same. Yeah, there's a this is the gel pens by Languo, and they're a nice thick size. I saved all the colors that were very doobie colors, and I had this one. I think it can still go. Ooh. I know I'm hanging up. That's pretty for the doobies. I like it. So I do kind of go through it again just to make sure I didn't get hasty. Okay, I'm hanging out for real. Persimmon. Hello, Teresa. Now these are supposed to be better than they are, and I don't know if I just got a dry Fudenosuke brush tip. And you know I love my neons, but these weren't that juicy. If you press hard, they'll do it. But then I mess up the black line, so it's pretty. Watermelony, that's pretty. And this is how it goes around here. Try not to second guess yourself when you're doing your closet. This is pretty. That's very doobie. I do like it. All right, I'm hanging up. You guys are so patient and awesome, and I hope you swatch and doodle and swatch, and I love this page. And if I want to do a black drawing over this, I'll have art, you know? And that's more interesting to me than just 3 little doobies on a page, like having lots of stuff going on. I will see you soon. We're going to be doing this because now I have my whole setup. I have no problems with it. I have to figure out the lighting a little better around this area, but I'm set up. It's set up and it was not glitchy and not hard to do for the first time last night. So that was fun. I don't think, you guys, I just kind of scribble. This is that camel multicolored colored pencil. Any multicolored colored pencil that you get at Blick or wherever you go, Amazon, Koh-i-Noor makes great ones. They're all really great. I don't think I've met one that I don't like. For real. They just kind of add so much texture and dimension to your drawing without having to pick up 5 pencils or however many colors are in here. All right, for real, I'm hanging up. I don't have to hang up. I could do the inks now. It could be like a 5-hour long video. We could be rebellious in our dislike of short form content and do the longest content that exists on YouTube. I wonder how long you can go for. I've never pushed it all the way. I've heard of people doing 2-hour videos, easy. You're welcome for the tips, misbehaving and the encouragement anytime. I'm happy you guys are here. It's really sweet. We get to hang out in our home on this channel. I drew this one for my friend Michelle. We call each other Cupcake Sisters. We both like cupcakes. I love the cupcakes. Oh, there's some more. That must be matcha. Oh, there's Rosie. All right, love you guys, and I'll see you super soon. Get your coloring on.